I started the Rashel Foundation when I myself was diagnosed with advanced stages of breast cancer in May of 2005. And being only 28 at the time and a single mom, it was just a very difficult time. But I had so many people to help me through that time that it made it a much more bearable. And so when I got sort of towards the end of my journey with it, I decided that we should make that same community available to whosoever, anybody that may need it. Well, I think there are many faces to the people that we help. It really depends on what the individual family's needs are. Sometimes it's as simple as, providing a meal for them as they're recovering from surgery. And other times it's taking them to radiation treatments on a daily basis or helping them financially pay for a medical device that they can't afford. We really just try to meet whatever need that is specifically that they have at that time.
The reason the Rashel Foundation is very important to me is I feel like it's very important to the community. I think it's headed by an individual who has a lot of enthusiasm for the mission that she's on. I think it serves the community in a way that a lot of charities do not serve, particularly in the breast cancer arena, that they can reach out to people and touch them in their home. They can touch the family, they can serve the family, whether it's serving them food or serving them transportation or serving a babysitting service. And to me, that's unique for any foundation to do.
My name is Lena Simmons. I'm 28 years old, and September 24th, 2007, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I have 2 small children, a 4-year-old son, and at the time, a 9-month-old daughter. She's 15 months old now. My husband and I had saved up enough money to for me to stay home with the baby for about 9 months to a year, and then we knew that I would need to go back to work in some form. So I was actually diagnosed when she was 9 months old, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to go back to work. I knew that we wouldn't have those resources that we were going to need, and that was hard for us because we've never had any help from anybody. We've always, what we have, we earned it. We've never had any help from our family, so it was hard. One thing in particular, besides, of course, the great friendship with Rashel, they helped us out with Christmas with our kids this year, and that really meant a lot to me. It was hard to have help from somebody else because they're my children, and I knew the reason I had to have help was because I had cancer. So that was tough, but it was nice to know that was out there. And I don't know of anybody else who would have helped us the way that the Rashel Foundation helped us. It was, I don't know, I guess to sound corny, it was almost like the light in the dark, I mean, if I needed help, and I tried not to exploit it, but if I needed help, I knew where I could go.
My husband, Charles, he had breast cancer, and it was terminal, and it had gotten to the point that I needed a lot of help. Over the 2-year period, the foundation has stepped up and so much as took my daughter to the doctor, help arrange to get the car fixed, just little errands and shopping and just whatever we needed financially, they were there. Knowing, number one, I wasn't alone, and number two, it was a phone call away. If I needed it, I knew y'all would be there.
Hi, I'm Anita Wilson. I'm a 34-year-old single mom. I'm a breast cancer 2-year survivor. I have my wonderful daughter here, Yasmin, and I have a 14-year-old son. The Rashel Foundation stepped into my life when I first found out that I had breast cancer and was pregnant with Yasmin. I didn't know whether or not I was going to be able to pay my bills, have hospital coverage, or anything, because at that time I couldn't imagine breast cancer happening to me. The Rashel Foundation came in, they paid bills, they made Christmas every day for us. They have been just a tremendous impact in my life. They have been angels sent to me, and I wouldn't take anything for them. When I say they went beyond the call of duty of just being volunteers, they actually was a backbone, someone I needed to talk to. They emailed me. I got letters from people that I didn't even know that gave me support that I can go on from day to day. Yasmin's dad actually left us when he found out that I had breast cancer. So when I said I needed the support and then some, it was there.
I was diagnosed with sarcoma cancer in December of '07. From a little girl being small up until the age I'm now, I never wanted anyone to ever tell me I had cancer. That was one thing I always feared. And to hear that myself, and I knew my mother had gone through breast cancer, I didn't really know what to do. So I told him, to go with what he knew, what he wanted me to do. So he recommended that I see a cancer doctor. At that time, my world kind of shattered. Just take your time. There were not a lot of options for me, actually based on my income. Living where I live now takes the majority of my income. So I was a bit concerned with where I would go and what I would do. So I took measures to go from trying to make sure and see how could I really make sure I was at that treatment, because I knew this was my life. I had made contact with a person who put me in touch with the Rashel Foundation. After I had tried to purchase a car from my mother's neighbor, to seeing if she would let me pay her so much a month, down to trying a public transportation that services me on medical trips that I have, but they were not very reliable. And I knew that I had to be at these treatments on time, having them every day at the same time, and having them done. I needed to be there. So when I did contact the Rashel Foundation, which I call my guardian angel foundation, and I spoke with Rashel. We set up the treatment times. We got treatment times set up, and that foundation made sure that I was at every single treatment on time. I went through 5 consecutive weeks of treatment. My daughter came for 2 weeks and stayed with me to go with me and to see if she could be of help to me here. But had it actually not been for the guardian angel Rashel Foundation, I don't know what I really would have done, because there was nothing else. Not only has it helped me in that manner, the foundation has helped me with my medications, and there's some pretty expensive medications for patients who has cancer, and there just wouldn't have been any way. And I'm just so thankful. I never could have made it, and I never would have made it had it not been for the Lord sending the angel that I have in my life now, and that foundation.
The reality is that all of us on some level, whether it's giving our time or writing a check or praying for that person or sending them a note of encouragement, whatever it may be, we all can give on some level, no matter how big or small it is. And I'm just challenging people to do that, to step up to the plate and do that. These are people that are in our community and they need our help.
I would just like for everyone to think about what I'm fixing to say. Breast cancer touched my wife and touched me. And Rashel and her foundation are touching a lot of people. And if you ever had this need, and God forbid you should, it would be so fulfilling to know that our community had an individual and a foundation like the Rashel Foundation to serve. So I ask you to really look deep about this foundation, think about it, and see what you could do to help the future.